everyone, I am Noelle with Noelle Rollins Art. Thank you for being here. This video is all about pricing. Yay! Such fun stuff to talk about, but truthfully one of my favorite things because this is an area that I have done a lot of work in, and it's an area that's constantly requiring growth and learning and kind of self-reflection, at least for me. So I want to talk about some of the things that I have learned and done that have helped me learn how to price my work, and also the psychology of pricing, what your artwork is worth. So about 8 years ago, I did a video on this, and you guys have been so great at leaving me comments, and so many of you, several thousand of you, have watched that video, and I just so appreciate that. I felt like it was time to do a little bit updated version. I won't reshare everything I shared in that video because I think I did a good job then of sharing most things. I just thought I'd add some things to it, and things and ways I've evolved since then, or other things I've learned since then. So I will link that video below so you can go back and watch that, or at the end of the video probably also. One of the things that helped me with pricing is a few years ago I decided to try wholesale, selling wholesale. And so I went and I had to create a catalog of all the prints I was offering. And what that did was, that was an entire summer of me getting super clear and having to group together prints into what series they were, give every piece I was going to offer a SKU number, a wholesale price, a retail price, everything. And so, for instance, my matted prints retail for $24. I had to look at whether or not I could afford for those to go at wholesale for $12. How many was a minimum order of that? Things like that. So had I not done some of the pricing work prior to that, and if I was still selling my prints for like $15, $20, there's no way that I could have done wholesale, because I wouldn't have had the room in there to be able to cut that price in half. So that's always something I still consider whenever I'm pricing, is if someone wanted to carry this in their store, could they? And truthfully, there's only a couple items that I could not say yes to, and I'm okay with those not being wholesaled. Some of them are like a throw pillow that has an image on it, for instance, or something like that. I just don't wholesale those. Another thing that has really helped me with pricing is, and just energy as an artist, is instead of constantly trying to think up what new to create and what to come up with this year, what am I going to sell, what am I gonna, I actually stopped for a moment and looked back at what is selling. I did this a few years ago, and what would happen to me was I knew that there was more in me that I wasn't accessing somehow, and I knew that there was more possibilities. And so when I actually looked back at what were my sales, how much did I make in each area, I was really shocked to see that Christmas ornaments, of all things, actually were really selling. That shocked me. And at the time, I was doing customized. I would add your name or a remembrance ornament with the name and the dates of someone who passed and all of these things for like $12. I'd hand make this ornament. I'd put my image on it with your information on it. And so once I actually decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to take those ornaments that are selling really well, and I'm going to double down on them. I am going to analyze what I'm offering, and I'm going to raise my prices. So that year I jumped to $17.95 per ornament. And I did this by researching what are other handmade ornaments going for. Mine are not hand painted. They have my print on them. So that was something I had to consider. But they are, I cut the wood and drill the wood and sand the wood, do all those things to it. It's a very handmade feel. What was the price point I wanted to sell it? And then also taking into account if I wholesaled. Hey, it's okay. It's my dog, Graham. Yes, hi, buddy. So I had to take into account what I was going to do with the ornaments if I wholesaled them. So since then, this has been a few years of evolving. The next year, so I did This can work for prints as well. This is why I'm sharing this story. It's just pricing in general. I thought, okay, I sold a few hundred more ornaments. I raised my prices and they still sold. Okay, what can I do even better? So what I did is I changed the way I was doing the image on the front. I got higher quality ingredients. I switched the size ever so subtly so they were a little bit larger and just better quality. And then I like doubled down on supplies. I bought enough supplies to try to sell. I think I was going to try to sell 800 that year. So it required me upfront buying the shipping boxes for these ornaments, the wood, the images ahead of time, the string, what I would wrap them in, the tissue, all of the things, right? I invested in a wood burner with my logo on it so that I could wood burn the back of every ornament with my logo, and that was a big thing. And I added packaging to them. So that time I actually found, okay, there's people that just want the ornament. It's for themselves. They're looking at more of the cost of it, but they still want it. There's other people that want something that's giftable. So I created a mid-level range where it comes in a nice gift box. It's wrapped, it's ready, where you could drop ship it, order it from me and drop ship it right to a client. And then I created like the deluxe version where it's a 5x7 box and it's tissue wrapped and it's filled with shreds and it has a card about how it was made. The box is hand signed, comes in a really nice package, all of those things. And that was higher priced yet. I think $32.95 for that, $24.95 or something for the boxed one, and then $17.95. And they all sold. So I thought, okay. So I kind of just kept learning and growing and listening to my audience and what they needed. And so finally then this year I decided, you know what, my competition out there is not selling $17.95 ornaments. And truthfully, when you're selling on Amazon Prime, you're keeping half of that anyways. It's almost the same as a wholesale. Sorry, the camera's shaking because my dog is huffing as I'm petting him. Part of being a working at home mom, artist, everything is the luxury that I can still film a video with my dog here and not be embarrassed. It's just, you're gonna just look at it as part of the package. I'm sure you can relate. So what I've done this year then again is decided, you know what, I'm not loving how when I would get an ornament from Amazon and they would just toss it in a bag and it was like the presentation was lost, that I worked so hard to create this certain feel. So I decided to package it in a way that if someone ordered it from Etsy, they would get it. So I removed all bubble wrap from my packaging and decided I'm going to go more eco-friendly. And I found paper. It's kind of almost like honeycomb. You stretch it out and it's like bubble wrap kind of feel. And so I changed everything about how I was packaging them. And now on Amazon Prime, I have one ornament option. It comes in its own 6x6 box. And within that is the 4x4 gift boxed, hand signed, boxed, wrapped with the ornament inside, a card about that it's handmade, everything, trying to do everything from beginning to when the recipient receives this ornament, that they have a good experience. And so by paying attention to all of those things and learning and listening to what the recipient, the gift giver, the buyer of the ornament wants, I have been able to more than double my prices on my ornaments. And so what that's done for me is actually be able to use better quality items. That's been able to just do good things with my, okay, I'm filming. The other joy of having kids at home. We'll see. This might get edited out. This might not. This is kind of real life. All right, where was I? Being able to double the price. So one of the things you need to look at when you're pricing is people are not buying your artwork, your originals, your prints, any of that just for price alone. So if you're not getting the sales you need, don't always assume that it's the price that is the problem. Start to look at how are you talking about your item, explaining your item. Is there enough copy on your website about that piece that really answers all the questions that can help do most of the sale before you need to do the sale, if that makes sense. If I was looking at your painting, for instance, does it talk about it in a way, if your painting was listed at $300 or your painting was listed at $3,500, would I be able to tell without seeing the painting if that was covered by the way that in the language and the verbiage you use? So talk about your work with the same level of quality, detail, salesmanship, of the price you're wanting to get for it. The next thing is, remember that not everyone buys on price. So what I mean by that is, just like I said with the ornaments, the price is one factor, and that will definitely rule some people out. There's some people that there is no way they're paying $25 for an ornament. I totally get that. Other people are saying, my sister just lost her mother-in-law. I want to get her something nice. And they are looking and they're like, oh, I don't want to only get her a $17 ornament. They're going, oh, this one's nice. It's gift wrap. It's whatever. Oh, and she has a link for a grief journal with it. Okay, I can spend $50 or $45 or whatever, and I know it's going to arrive nice, and she's going to just have something year after year to remind her of her mother-in-law. That's who I'm focusing my work for. So all of the way I describe my work, my sales copy, everything then meets that prospective customer, that demographic. And so just recognize that people are coming for different reasons, and price is not always the main reason. Focus on if you're saving your customer time. This could be by having something gift wrapped. This could be by being able to drop ship it right to a some other location or recipient. Let me see what else I have here. Are you saving them time or energy? That kind of goes with the packaging. But it's also just you are being super clear on what you're offering so they know for sure it's meeting the needs that they have. If it's a company looking for artwork to hang in their hallway or their waiting room, for instance, why would they want yours? Let them know that you understand their needs, that you are saving them time because you have already put together the perfectly curated set of artwork for their needs. Make it super easy on them. Let them have confidence that you know what you're doing. Same thing if it's a sports cafe, or something, and they want your artwork, that you get it. You know what they're looking for, and that you know and can price accordingly because you've done that work for them. All right, let's see. One other thing I just wanted to add really quick in this video from Beyond with all the interruptions is last year I had someone in my life who lost someone, and it forced me to go from the customer perspective where I was looking at stuff from not an angle of budget that sometimes we might price from. I was looking at it I want to send her something when she opens it, it's just beautiful. And it might have had a candle and then the gift and a flower and a card, and it's wrapped beautifully. And I would have paid so much more money for that entire presentation, knowing that it could arrive. And unfortunately, I thought of it too late. It wasn't going to get there in time of this anniversary of a date that I needed for her. So I ended up sending her flowers, but it let me look at it from the perspective of my customer and how they might be looking at my work. And it really took the pricing out of the forefront of what their needs might always be. So if you're having trouble selling things, look at your prices. It may be that you are pricing at a different wavelength or to a different demographic than what all of your quality of your photos, your quality of your marketing, who your target audience is. So get those to match. If you want to be selling paintings at $3,000 a piece, get your copy and your website to that level that it attracts those people. Don't expect to do everything budget and not put any time in and have really bad photos and expect to get that. Just take pride in your work and trust that and address things from their perspective. One other really good tip I have is don't, whether it's on social media or whether it's in your copy, don't speak of things such as I, or I did this because that's something that I've had to learn that I was doing wrong. Address things for why this helps them and what their needs are and why this is a good fit for them. And that totally changes the way that they're reading or they're hearing what you're talking about. They don't care about our needs as much as what they're looking for what they need, which we do the same thing when we're looking. And if you're having trouble, look at a different industry. If you wanted to go buy a pair of tennis shoes, or if you wanted to go on vacation and you're looking up like Airbnbs, is it price alone or is it the whole package deal? And then take that perspective and come back and price your art worth it. So hopefully that helps you. I am totally sorry for all of the interruptions, but I'm just gonna let them be, you guys. It's just life. I will never get a video filmed if I don't somewhat just show how it is. So comment below if you have any other tips about pricing. Make sure to go back and watch the other video I made, because it had a lot of good information about pricing in it and mindset and everything. There's just more I wanted to add here. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Watch the other videos I have all about behind the scenes of being an artist. Let me know if there's other topics you want to hear about. I'm going to be filming more of these, and I'm just so glad to be here with you. So share your wisdom with us in the comments. All right, have a good day. Bye.